What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family, bringing you guys the latest update on the Dallas Cowboys.
What's up?
Give us just a quick second while we check our audio. We'll be right with you.
Notifications are sent out loud and clear, guys. Thank you all for subscribing,
What is up,
liking,
YouTube? My Cowboys family,
and hitting that notification bell. What's up? Almighty Clay, he was the first today, but DJ Crown J. The winner, as you can see here below, the weekly donation winner.
We sound good.
You can see above. This is our current status here with the 5 leaders there for the weekly super chat.
That's right. So Almighty Clay, DJ Crown J, your boy Asad
What's
Lalani,
up?
Green Gamer, Kingstar Vids. All you guys, thanks for joining
What's
us.
up, guys?
Definitely a late night stream.
Multiple reasons for that. Yes, unfortunately, fiance has been under the weather a little bit. Not related to Little G's situation. So
yeah. Shorn Iron, is there something wrong with our audio? I mean,
was it?
Green Gamer, Kingstar Vids. All you guys. We sound good.
Maybe. You try mine?
Yeah, yours sounds good too. Yeah, I'm not.
All right, good. I think we sound
sorry
all right.
about that, guys. All right, yeah. So,
Thank you.
And then Green Gamer says, anyone have GTI on PS4 and want to play? So
GTA. Oh,
yeah.
GTA.
And then Sebastian Flores, thanks for joining
future,
us here tonight.
yes.
Buddy Johnson. Let me see. Did y'all hear Earl Thomas wants to come to Dallas? So he actually got in a little bit of trouble for that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about all this stuff, guys. Also, actually, you know, just seeing it right now on my Twitter, on our Twitter page. You know, if you guys know Brian Brodus, he's on the Dallas Cowboys staff, media writers, media, a great scout. We like his stuff for the most part, and just had a little back and forth with him on Twitter about Jason Garrett and offensive coordinator Scott Linehan. Just really made about Linehan initially, and then everybody made it about bandwagon fans and things like this. And then we set it straight a little bit better. I think people have to understand that we're wearing Cowboy unit stuff forever.
That's right. We're not going anywhere,
Nowhere.
guys, and we still are going to rep the
Always
Cowboys
support the
with
Cowboys.
everything we have.
Right.
But the point is that we're
you,
not going to purchase or spend any more money to line Jerry Jones' pockets. You know, and again, that's just a personal decision that we're making because it just
some people are also taking it as it's like a protest. Like, I mean, it is our little way of, I guess, our voicing our displeasure.
Yeah, because Jerry Jones doesn't seem to listen to the staff or any kind of general comment. I mean,
we don't know who's Jerry. Jerry Jones doesn't have to listen to anybody. That's the truth. And again, we don't know what the other people are talking to him
and
about.
That's gotten him 2 playoff wins.
In 21 years, correct? Basically, that's what it's come down to. So, but it's something, you know. It's not just 1 year or a couple of years. It's the consistency of not winning. Whatever that reason may be, obviously we can't do anything about it. People say, well, Jerry Jones needs to go. Well, we can't fire Jerry Jones. So people say, well, Jerry Jones needs to retire. Well, he's not going to. That's selling the team. He's not retiring. And other people say, well, Jerry Jones, you know, it's about the money. And that is what's the closest to Jerry Jones. Although I do agree with Brian Brodus that this hurts Jerry Jones. We saw him on TV, how upset he was at the end of that game.
And no one's denying that
when he
his heart and soul isn't completely into this team, but I feel like his stubbornness to change is hurting the Cowboys.
The lack of adjustments, not just with Jason Garrett and his staff, which even though they have made some adjustments, let's get it clear. Let's make it honestly clear, brutally honestly clear. They have not made many adjustments to Dallas Cowboys staff, coaching staff, both sides of the coordinators and down for the most part. I mean, we're not back there. We don't know what's going on, but that's what it seems. If you continuously pretty much have that much, is that what it is with Garrett? He has that much trust in his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that he just never overrules them, that he feels like he 100% trusts him. I feel like, you know, where his instincts at that no one somewhere, you know, from whoever gets a voice or a decision in calling plays said, you know, why are we doing this? I mean, had they called a fleet flicker play on 2nd and goal, you're not telling me that's not a dumb idea? Right. No one would have stopped and said, hey, wait, maybe we should run the ball?
Whose heads are rolling for that decision? And not just once, but multiple games. And it's funny because they have it listed on their website, on the Dallas Cowboys comment, like which games you're most disappointed in. All 4 games that they listed are all disappointing for almost the same reasons. And a lot of that has to do, I do believe, has to do with the coaching. Whether you want to blame Atlanta and the Chaz Green issue on the coaching, you want to blame the Seattle game, some of these plays on the coaching, you want to blame the end of the game. And I say coach, I don't just mean Garrett. I mean the whole coaching staff, offense and defense, but I am specifying offensive coordinator Scott Linehan. That's a fact, okay? And now I'm seeing that Broadus wrote today that he doesn't, again, and he just reported the news. He's not trying, I'm not saying he's picking a side. I just think this needs more of an outcry from the Cowboys fans, staff, or people that are the media there for representing that. Ask the tough questions. Don't just do vanilla stuff that everybody.
Understanding that players have some of the blame too. We have to put some responsibility on the players not executing plays. Absolutely. But outside of that, the coaches have to put the players in a good position. So, and DJ Crown J.
Boom. Thank you, brother.
Our first super chat of the night of $5.
Guys,
thank you so much for that.
Do not
DJ
forget,
Crown J.
right here below. So you can see here, DJ Crown J and my Cowboys family. We're going to have a great one-on-one. Google, I guess it'll be a Google
Yeah, it's
Hangout.
going to have to be a Google Hangout. I was trying to find another way of doing it through Discord, but it looks like it's not going to be compatible with our type of stream. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to try to do a Google Hangout. But, again, we'll just try to get on nice and early and try to maybe double-check it before we do the actual live stream.
Throw us a time you want, DJ Crown J, on doing that sometime after 8 p.m. Eastern. We could be able to find something around then. And guys, we're gonna put the time on there. That's why it says to be announced. But it's gonna be Friday night if everything is still good with DJ Crown J. We're gonna definitely do that. But thank you for that. That's every penny helps, guys. Thank you guys so much for helping out the channel. And again, in the process, we're a couple days closer to getting our little I guess you could say specialized, personalized. Item that we're planning to give out to those that donate over $10. So, and there's a whole bunch of you guys are ready to have. So we're gonna send them out as soon as we get them, and we'll show it on one of our live streams what it is. But we think it's pretty cool and something you can wear every day.
Yeah. So I want to catch up with a few comments here real quick. So, Patriot Fanatic, thanks for joining us. Dallas Cowboy Forever Champion, what's up? He said, last championship Gabe wins in '96, worst general manager ever. Look at the success the Patriots have had. That should have been the Cowboys. Jerry just couldn't stay out of the way. Let me see. Asad Lalani, thanks for joining us. Let me see. Vampire Prince, what's up? This will be the only time I'll be rooting for the Patriots last if the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a tough one, but I got to say, Eagle fans, I really don't know how you're going to make it to the Super Bowl. You know, enjoy the season that you've had so far. Football Nerd, thanks for joining us as well. Let me see. Buddy Johnson, he said, I'd rather have Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman than Orlando Scandrick and Jeff Heath. So, and again, I guess we might as well jump to the quick Earl Thomas comments. So, after the game was over, he went into the Cowboys, tunnel and caught up with Jason Garrett and said, yeah, man, when Seattle's basically done with me, call me up or something along those lines. So,
Seattle coach Pete Carroll basically said today about the Earl Thomas Cowboys locker room incident you just described, that if he had another quote, if he had another chance, he wouldn't say that again. He also said that that's unusual, that he would do something like that Earl Thomas III would do that and go into another team's locker room basically after the game. So to be specific, here's what happened. So Pete Carroll said, I sat with Earl afterwards and he was like, what do you mean? Carroll said, he didn't think he did anything wrong at all. He didn't know. He was just having fun and he was really excited about the game. He was a little bit rubbing it in. You understand what he's saying by that, guys? So he's like kind of rubbing it in the Cowboys' face in a fun way, I guess. Yeah. He was a little bit rubbing it in, the win, in a little bit, and having a good time with it. And then he just said something into the future. When you read it, it comes across bad, but if he had another chance, he wouldn't say that again. Carroll said that Thomas realized that the public might view what he did and said differently than how Carroll and Thomas intended it. And again, there's another quote from Carroll. He was really concerned about our fans, Carroll said. That was his first thought. Geez, I don't want to make them think that I don't love being here and all that. So he said what he could say to try to clear things up. So that's basically the door closing.
I mean, how much do you actually believe that?
I mean,
I could see it being a little bit of rubbing it in, but
I think it could be kind of like both things.
Kind of he already said. I mean, he self-admittedly said that he grew up a Cowboys fan all his life. Right. So honestly, for him to say that he, would want to, play a year on that team or possibly retire on the team that he's always loved as a child. I mean, it's not that out of the question. So, but I could see why he feels bad that.
We'll see though. By the time he wants to come over.
Why would he want a washed-up player in the first place?
There you go.
So,
we can get Grievous for that. So here you go, guys. I want to tell you about the coin toss data that I've been reading about, which again, that's something we've been very anti-Garrett, and he's the one that's making that decision. So that's all on Garrett. It might be a slight thing, but I do think it does turn games, and it's a strategy. It's part of football, you know.
And specifically, we're going to talk about the coin tosses, how what happens when we won, when we lost, and also what that means for our third quarter.
Right. So. And now I want to make clear something from last year. The Cowboys, I think they took the ball and they deferred when they won the coin toss last season. That seemed to work out so much better when we had the ball the second half. And I know that we did it last year, not only more often, but I think almost all the chances we had, we took the ball in the second half, which I believe is the right strategic choice. It's like they did the exact opposite this season when it comes to Zeke and Dak. They went out of the Zeke run conservative running team, which we, once the offensive line gelled, and we had, even Byron Bell taking extra snaps in place of Tyron Smith, thinking that Tyron Smith,
they changed the things that were working and didn't work on fixing the things that weren't.
Right, and the thing is that Romo is more of a gunslinger, and this is meaning a passing first, pass heavy offense, and that playbook has been reinstated, so to speak, this season. After last season, it was put on the shelf, so they got that conservative playbook, which was great, and Linehan got praise for that. Great. He should get praise for that. That's what you should do.
When they do their jobs right and they do it well, you got to give them credit. But at the same time, with Jason Garrett, it's been how many years now? 3 8-8 seasons in a row. Yeah. When who was the coach before that? Wade Phillips. There we go. He got 3 years before Jerry Jones booted him out of there. But Jason Garrett has gotten 7. He's going on 8, and I mean it's
disappointing. I mean, again, it's been something we've been saying
as well.
We've been saying this for years, before this YouTube thing, and before 5 months ago when we did our first video, which our first videos do clarify our stance on many players on the team, but also about Jason Garrett and the staff. So keep that in mind. But I do like the run first conservative play for this team. It works for this team. It's built on that. I'm not saying I know exactly all the ins and outs, how to make it how to perfect it, but that you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that Dak Prescott is like Tony Romo. They're different types of quarterbacks. I'm saying one's better. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm saying that Tony Romo is the kind of quarterback that can throw it 40 times a game and have on a consistent basis. Of course, Dak can do that too. But Romo can do it on a consistent basis and win and do well on that kind of game plan. That game plan was shelved last year because Romo got hurt and they said, uh-oh. Now we don't have a backup because Kellen Moore's out for the year, and now we have to put, Dak Prescott, move him up from a number 3 quarterback, maybe not making the team, barely making practice squad. That's what they were thinking. A 4th-round draft choice rookie. Now he's going to Gesundheit. Now he's going to take over. You all right, baby?
Yeah.
So then, he'll take over this team, America's team, with Ezekiel Elliott at running back, another rookie. So you have to get conservative so that offensive line, even after week 3 or whatever it was when we played against the Bears on Monday Night Football, we lost our starting left guard. And who was that? You guys know who that is? La'el Collins. So he got hurt last year, and that's when Ronald Leary stepped in and did a good job. Well. But again, guys, I think Cooper is doing it pretty close to that, pretty decent. I'm not an expert on that, but I do think he's doing pretty damn good job, Jonathan Cooper, especially when he has both veteran guys to his right and left. Yeah. So, when these things work together on the Cowboys offensive team, we should run the ball. We are a run-heavy team. But Linehan scrapped the playbook and the game plan from last season about running first and being a little more conservative, meaning we run more often, maybe more packages where we have 2 or 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends and a fullback, Keith Smith. We need to do that more often. And then out of that, we can run play action and stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ranting, but I got to speak. I think that, I'm not even saying that's my truth or that's the truth. I'm saying that feels like what's going on out there. And I know it's always more when meets the eye, and it's always, more behind the curtain, so to speak. Yeah, but be honest, what you're seeing out there, it's not just been this year. It's been often with Garrett, the leader of the team. He's not a consistently good winner leader. He's just mainly a clapper, rah-rah. Yeah. He has some good attributes, and I would say front office, making some scouting decisions, maybe, when it comes to the draft.
Well, no, when it comes to that whole, things.
But not head coach.
I get it that some things do have to stay behind that curtain, but the point is that we're tired of the same lip service that we've been getting on the other side. If they were,
and you've been here you've been with the Cowboys for 4 years.
Yeah, and I've already memorized the Jason Garrett message. You know what I mean?
Yes. I've been with the Cowboys for 35. You can't always think
about next time. You have to think about right now. And I feel like they've never stopped to really fix the mistakes. They have this next man up mentality. Which man up is not
Philly
ready.
did it, but Philly did it.
Yeah, we know it can be done. And
that's my point.
Honestly, forget Philly. Patriot fan, 98. You know all about it.
Patriots
because guess
do it.
What? The Patriots do
and by the way, they just signed James Harrison from the Steelers. That might make the difference between who makes the Super Bowl right there. That one signing.
And
keep that in mind
and the point
when
is
the playoffs hit.
And you know what it is? They make good moves in free agency, which is something the Cowboys are abysmal at. We pick up great rookies. Hello, look at our team right now. These last 2 years are probably some of the most successful, like, life-boosting rookies. Our defense has improved so much.
I will say, though, we did pick up guys.
Obviously,
we have picked up guys like Ben Samayoa from the Raiders, Bryce Butler from the Raiders, David Irving from the Chiefs. We've got these guys. So these are good talents that we have gotten, young guys that we've developed on the Cowboys. And now we're going to lose half of them. Hopefully we re-sign Irving. And hopefully he's okay first and foremost from that concussion. But my point is that, Bryce Butler, 1 year. We got T. Will for $4 million, 4 years. So I mean, my point is, that's great. Maybe we got T. Will for a good price. But his contract is good for the Cowboys, T. Will. But the problem is now we lose Butler, who might have more of an upside. Now T. Will to me is one of the best blockers as far as receivers are concerned. So is Dez Bryant. T. Will have the best receiver as a catcher, I would say. And of course, neither is Dez Bryant. He's not elite anymore. Just clarifying that as far as I'm concerned. He had a couple of elite seasons, but he's not consistently elite, which is what you need. What he claims he is and what he's getting paid. Just running through it in and out, guys. I think Dak, second-year guy, sophomore slump, I think he's going to improve as the years go on. I think we need somebody back there like. And again, if Brian Broaddus is saying that but if he did say North Turner is a name that might come up, but then he also said that he said that Linehan's going to be there as the offensive coordinator. If that's the case,
but he also said that he will admit when he's wrong, but that he does feel that Linehan's not going anywhere.
True, to be fair,
that's just his thoughts on what he thinks they're going to do.
And he has the pulse of the team. So I mean, again, hopefully he's wrong about that. And I'm willing to bet if Brian Broaddus ever hears any of this, that he agrees. He wants that. He wants Linehan to be out. I want to know what his opinion about Linehan is, not what the team's opinion is of it. You know what I mean? We know that the team is going to tell him. We know Jerry Jones is going to tell him, Linehan's going to be here to stay. That's the feeling in the locker room. And he might have a better pulse of the team, and I'm sure he does. He works there for them. He sees the players. But my point is that what about your feelings about what's going on with the coaches? I know he's been vocal on even today's show, which wasn't somebody said it was like scripted by Jerry Jones. It was kind of scripted like by Jerry Jones for the most part. But Broaddus was the one I said great points that he's making. At least he's saying, he's speaking out a little bit. One of the few people that have spoken at all out about it. But then he reverts on Twitter and says what he says. So to me, it's got to make yourself a little clearer. But again, let's hear some more real opinions from the Dallas media.
Well, OMFG Google, thanks for joining us. And Ryan, what's up, Ryan? LT Metters, Sebastian Flores, what should we do with Dez? That's a complicated question. We're definitely going to get to that in just a little bit. Cowboys X Factor, what's up? Ooh, you got a Wii U. I hope you got Zelda Breath of the Wild. Fantastic game. And then I want to get LT Metters said, you guys are hard to hate on as an Eagle fan. I like your content, knowledge of football, your family-based show. Great job. So, and again, guys,
much appreciated.
The reason we really, I guess we have controversial opinions because, everyone has their own different opinions. I wouldn't really call them
I wouldn't even call it controversial. I'm calling it logical.
So, and again, we really want to know what your thoughts are because now we've kind of said our piece on that.
And guys, just to make it clear, in case you haven't known, we're Cowboy fans from the beginning to the end. I don't care what the hell happens.
Well, Buddy Johnson said, me too. Robert Kraft is a better owner than Jerry Jones. Correct. Is that wrong to say? It's not wrong because Robert Kraft leaves the handling and management of his team to people who know better and they make smart moves. It's a team effort. And you can tell that the people there do know what they're doing and they fix their problems as quickly and effectively.
The only thing that Jerry Jones did that was great was get his buddy. Again, it's connection. Ray, he went to college with him, played football with him, roommates, whatever, their best friends in college. My point is that he got his old buddy who's doing fantastic in the University of Miami formerly of Michael Irvin, who was just on the team 2 years before. Or actually, a year before Jimmy Johnson was hired, and of course Jerry Jones brought the team, fired Tom Landry. So throughout that process, which Jerry Jones took a lot of heat on, and he admittedly said that was like the worst decision he ever made, the way he fired Tom Landry. That's another story. My point is that that's the only decision he made that was great. Putting Jimmy Johnson there, the worst thing he ever did was get into that egotistical argument in a bar, or wherever the hell he was, where he had, he wanted to take full credit or most of the credit over Jimmy Johnson. Jerry Jones wanted to take full credit over Jimmy Johnson for building the 2 championships they have, just one in a row, literally like a month ago, the 2nd championship. And we were going to win a 3rd and a 4th. Yeah. But that argument, Jimmy Johnson said, I had enough, I'm out. And ever since then, Whether it's, we've had the crappiest of the crappiest, sometimes I'd say Chan Gailey in that group, and his others. But also when you think about Bill Parcells, who was somebody who you'd never expect to be a head coach for the Cowboys, that his persona, his mindset, his attitude. Yeah. And yet, after his clause was up, where he had a choice to leave or not, after his 2 or 3 years, whatever it was, he left. He could have stayed another year, another contract. Yeah. He could have stayed another year with the team he built. He knew was on the writing on the wall. And that hurt a lot. That Seattle loss in the playoffs where Romo couldn't get that snap down, that hurts. I even think about it now. It still hurts me. But that could have changed the course of the Cowboys' history. We can't go back on that, obviously. But the thing is that Bill Parcells, just whether it was because of that and the fact that he saw that he couldn't take this whole thing with T.O. and Jerry Jones and that whole drama, he soon was gone after that. And, Wade Phillips came in marshmallow camp and the whole thing. And then we have, Garrett coming in as the assistant head coach, or whatever you want to call it, offensive coordinator, assistant head coach, which was his title. And getting paid more than the head coach, Wade Phillips, who should just be a defense. See, some people are built to be better as a coordinator. Wade Phillips is a much better defensive coordinator than a head coach. Just like Norv Turner, who's a poor, average to below average head coach compared to an offensive coordinator, where he's a much better person there. And again, I think he'd be the great guy to develop Dak Prescott and still focus on his passing and getting him better and getting him more acclimated to the NFL and just the little things that you need to learn as experience and with teaching. And also be a run-heavy team. Yeah. I think you can do both these things at the same time. I think Norv Turner would be a good choice. But I hope that Scott Linehan goes. He's got to go as far as I'm. That's first and foremost. We know here at My Cowboys Family that the probability of Jason Garrett getting fired is 1%, if that. So it's not because he shouldn't be fired, in our opinions. I've been saying for a couple of years, I just never like, for more than a couple of years, I just don't like the way he coaches personally from what I see on TV. I don't know him outside of what I see on TV. And that's really the truth. That's true. That's all I really, truly know. But as you see a consistent, mediocre coaching staff and team, it becomes hard to trust that next year is going to be different, unless it's because of the abilities of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and the rest of the team, of course. But also, the conservative game plan worked last year, and we scrapped it to go back to the Romo game plan, which does not work for Dak Prescott.
Well, let's catch up with a few comments here as well. So
that's coaching, guys. That's not players. That's coaching.
Can you do viewer games playing subs on Madden? Patriot fan, we'll definitely look into that. We'll probably, once the football season is over, we'll be doing a lot more of that kind of thing.
But also, it's going to probably be related to what's the above. Like DJ Crown J, he won the donation last week, whether it's through Patreon or through Super Chat right here. Billy Sarducci also put in. Cowboys X Factor put in. You guys all are awesome. As you can see above, Dano is leading right now this week. Slim Shady number 2. DJ Crown J again in the running, in the top here. Actually, he just passed Slim Shady. I'm sorry, I had to fix that. And Ghost set those numbers. Yes, and Ray 415.
And then he'll be a big help to win another Super Bowl. Said Omafji Google, who Dez looks like a player who's lacking confidence. Now, on that, do you think that because the team has shifted away from him being the superstar, he's lost his identity on the team, and the team lost their ability to know how to use him? I mean, he definitely, as far as Dez, I mean, I don't know what the problem is with Dez. I'm just going to be real. I don't know what it is. I think the team is using him badly, but I also think that he is just playing badly. So someone said here that, does he maybe have a hidden injury? I mean, that'd be crazy to find out he was dealing with some kind of unknown injury all year, but I really don't think that's it either, because he's saying he's, was training so well in the off season, all this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, this seemed to be he was at his pinnacle right now.
Like he said, he's never been so prepared for a football season or so like physically fit and healthy, all these things. So
and we know he got banged up a little bit, but still.
We were excited. We thought this was going to be again an amazing year for him.
We're supporters of any of you, any Cowboy player out there that can either back up what he's saying or excel like he's supposed to. And just let's be real, guys. During the Demaryius Thomas and Dez Bryant, money snatching, I guess you can call it if you want to call it that. But look, they earned it at that time from their performances up to that point. So these two guys were elite receivers, and they both kind of dropped once Manning left, once Romo's gone. And also they've also kind of, I don't know. I mean, I can't really speak on Demaryius Thomas, but I can speak about, they were both comparing basically the same contracts. And I think it was $18 million or so. Now, now it comes down to, do you still keep somebody who consistently is still dropping passes? Not only dropping passes and costing us on drives, but costing us on interceptions. Denver. Okay, Seattle. I know he's done it a couple other times in other years.
We have a few interesting comments here in the chat as far as that.
Guys.
But first, Billy Sarducci, thanks for joining us. He
What's
said,
up, Billy?
Shake up the coaching staff, replace Linehan. Andrew DeCall, thanks for joining us as well. Don't worry, we're just kind of getting into it. Really, we just talked about
one real thing right now.
Yeah, some comments.
Just to get it cleared up, Justin Durant, guys, linebacker, he's been cut.
Yeah.
Pretty much, the situation with him is that, he had, and again, I just think
he was going to retire before we even asked him to come back this
year.
So,
so we
kind of injury, the end of the season.
This is to make room for another guy for this last game, which again, Cooper Rush, guys, is going to probably play 50-50, maybe halftime he's going to come out and start playing.
Cowboys aren't being clear on how much playtime Cooper Rush will get. They're saying that Dak is still going to get some playtime, whether it's one snap or if they're going to do what they did last year in the Eagles game and tell everyone, he's going to play, and then make a on-field decision. Oh, no, they're not going out
but
there.
It's a sad thing, though, that both things are happening.
EasyH2O, Justin Quarles, thanks for joining us here as well. Let me see. LT Metters said, real opposing fan question. Would Dez accept being a second, 2 or a slot? We would love to have him in Philly. I feel like a team like New England will get him. Now, that presents the problem. Because everyone who's asking, what do we do with Dez? Like I said, we basically only have 3 options. We either keep him as he is and find a way to make him effective. He somehow takes a pay cut or a demotion or something, restructure his contract. Or 3, we do cut him and get rid of him. But again, the riskiest one, I feel like, is the first option. And the third option, I don't want to keep Dez, keep paying him what he's doing now, in the hopes that he might play well next year. That terrifies me.
And keep paying him that same money.
That's what I'm saying. That sounds like the Cowboys
if we release him after June,
losing on someone else.
If we release him after June 1st, then we get $12 million. If we release him before that, I'm just saying, release him, trade him, whatever, we get $8 million on the cap.
And even then, a trade that could come back and bite us in the butt, because
a team could use him properly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've seen the Cowboys players. I mentioned this in a stream a few days ago. We've seen Cowboy players leave our team and be more successful on other teams, other schemes, because they're used better or
the only thing I have a question about is the fact that it's his hands. You see, as a receiver, you have to understand that probably the hands are the most important thing. When it comes, I guess it's a route running and his feet. It's a lot of different things. To be honest. But the hands is what you think about when you think about receivers. Receiver. That's what you're supposed to do, bring the ball into your body. So anyways, Dez Bryant he leads the league in drops. That's not elite numbers, and he has got 100 yards in over 22 games now in a row.
Yeah, and when we say drops, we don't mean like uncatchable pass. We mean catchable passes.
Correct.
50 or 51%. I think
50-50 is what they usually say.
So either way, guys,
or higher.
That's a crazy stat.
So back to
I'm gonna be back in a little bit, guys. I'm under the weather. I've been under the weather for a day or two now, but I'll be back shortly. So thanks, guys, and stick here with Fiance. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. But just to kind of recap again, Durant was cut to make room for someone else on the team, and the Dallas Cowboys are still not refusing to accept that the coaching might be a problem.
Basically, yeah. And we're going to talk about the coin toss here in a minute. But Cowboys released Justin Durant. Okay. Cowboys released Durant. Well, now keep in mind, guys, Durant was going to retire, as Fiance said. He just dressed for 7 games this season. He missed 5 games due to a groin injury and a concussion, and was also, basically made inactive, a healthy inactive, for 3 games. Cowboys are calling up Trayvon Johnson. All right, Trayvon Johnson. He's coming off the practice squad from the Cowboys. He's going to be on the 53. You're going to see him take his place for the final game. So you might see him in there. You might see him active. You may just another body for the practice week. But just so you guys know, Trayvon Johnson is now on the team, all for the practice squad, and Justin Durant is officially, cut and also, released, whatever, but retiring as well. Which we kind of knew was going to happen. It's just this is more to get the young guys ready. And I'm sure it was a mutual agreement by Durant and crew, Cowboy staff. I'm going to try to get through some of these things, guys, here. I definitely want to discuss some stuff about the coin toss. And I know it's not that big of a deal, but you'd be surprised. I think it's important. And I've always said this, whether you're playing Madden or you're playing NFL football or you're coaching Pee Wee or whatever it is you're doing. But when you get the ball in the second half, you try to always score at the end of the first half, right? Every team obviously tries to do that, but you want to try to game plan a 2-minute drill to try to plan it so that you can try to score and you want to get a touchdown. You want to, if you can't, you get that field goal, but you run the clock down as much as you can so you can then give the opposing team as little time as possible to try to do anything. The point is, you want to try, if you're a team that's getting the ball in the second half and you're going to be able to come close or end the first half, then you're going to get the ball. It's like doubling up is what it's called at halftime. So I saw this data here and I found it interesting. It said that basically almost every coach in the NFL, and this is what the NFL, a lot of the referees and officials and a lot of the people there that know about this here, so they have been told that almost every coach but Dallas's, hint, Jason Garrett, defers, so they may double up at halftime. So if you want to go through our weeks, guys, what that means again is that when we win the coin toss, we defer to the opposing team. Meaning they get, when we win the coin toss, we ask for the ball. We receive the ball. Most teams say we win the coin toss. Last season, the Cowboys, they won the coin toss. They deferred to the opposing team, which is the smart thing, the strategically smart thing to do. That can cost us points both ways, on offense and give up points on defense. We've had a very poor, I guess you could say, second half start for the most part, especially in the first 10 games or so this year. Every time in the second half, the team would score a field goal or a touchdown almost every single game coming out of the half. So anyways, here's the data. Against the Giants week 1, we won the coin toss, we received. Denver, we won coin toss, received. Arizona, we lost the coin toss, and Arizona elected to receive. We kicked off. So that's the only time in the whole year. And that was a close game. So you never know that second half. I'm trying to recall it more, so long ago. But if I recall, the Cowboys did take some time to pull away. But my point is that maybe that second half helped getting that ball. But Jason Garrett's going to stick to his plan. So week 4 against the Rams, we elected to receive the ball. We won the toss. Then we wanted to get the ball. We against Green Bay, lost the coin toss, and then Green Bay deferred to the Dallas. So we got the ball first because we lost the coin toss, and the Green Bay wants to get the ball in the second half. Same thing with San Francisco after our bye week. We lost the toss. San Francisco 49ers won the toss and said, no, we're going to defer to Dallas, let Dallas get the ball first. So week 7, we lost the toss, and then Washington did the same thing to us as well. So again, this is exactly what Garrett wants. So it's like we're winning the coin toss. I don't know what the mentality, I guess, is on that, the psychology is on that. And this for Garrett. Last year we did the opposite. Last year we deferred and we got the ball the second half. So against week 9 against the Atlanta Falcons, we lost the toss. Atlanta defers to Dallas. Week 10 against the Eagles, lost toss. We lost the coin toss. Philadelphia defers to Dallas. We won the coin toss on Thanksgiving against the Chargers. We elected to receive. Against Washington, we lost, so they wanted us to receive first. They deferred. Giants, we won the coin toss. We elected to receive first. Then against Oakland last week, we elected to receive first when we won the coin toss. And, of course, against Seattle, we won the coin toss and we elected to receive. So, again, when you look at, what is it, 31%? I don't know. It was like a certain percentage that we get. It's just a really bad stat, and I don't know what it is, but maybe. Yeah. Do you remember what we were talking about when it came to the
coin toss?
Yeah.
The third quarter is our worst performing quarter.
That's right.
So all these times we impose our will, supposedly, but then we come back in the third quarter and we literally suck, and we never use Zeke. So
there you go, guys. I mean, that's pretty much it. So basically, our third quarter is our worst performing quarter. We're outscored the most in that quarter. It should be a hint, that something's off. Maybe change your routine, adjust. Talk about adjustments. Man, I wish I could get your questions, guys, but I'm trying to run through this information here real quick here. Let me see here. Again, I just want to say on some other teams' information real quick. As you know, guys, linebacker James Harrison, he's old, but he's a great linebacker. He still is a pretty decent linebacker. He was picked up, and I think that's a good pickup by the New England Patriots again, making the right moves. I think that could make a difference when it comes to who goes to the Super Bowl possibly. So it's something to keep in mind. Our New York Giants, the hated New York Giants. You guys know Landon Collins was put on IR. I think we said that yesterday for the year, but he was interviewed by ESPN New York, and he said, it was a quote that he said, it was in reference that, he never said his name, but we know who he's talking about. He's talking about Eli Apple. As you know, he was suspended. Dominic Rogers-Cromartie was suspended, but I think Eli Apple was also suspended as well. So here's what he said. Oh, he walked out of he got in trouble for something he did there. Landon Collins said, "There's one corner that needs to grow up, and we all know who that is. It would be the only person I would change out of our secondary group. That first pick, he's a cancer." Pretty blunt, and you don't really hear another teammate call each other that. That's kind of crazy. As I said, guys, the whole thing about some people are saying, like Brodus and some other media people, I don't want to misquote, I'm not really sure who said this, but it's basically saying that all these Cowboy fans want to fire Scott Linehan. And, there's some questionable play calling, and like for instance, the failure to recognize the Chaz Green issue in Atlanta, that was Ed Werder. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. So Ed Werder said, "I know every Cowboy fan wants to fire offensive coordinator Scott Linehan, and I understand some questionable play calling and failing to recognize the Chaz Green issue in Atlanta." And in parentheses, he put, "more JG to me," meaning Jason Garrett. "But last year, people around the league praised how he helped develop Dak and evolved offense designed for Romo." Now, again, obviously, Ed Werder doesn't realize that offense was designed for Romo, and he adjusted last year to that. That's why he received praise. It wasn't to receive praise because Dak adapted to Romo's offense. You guys following me here? So Werder obviously doesn't. I don't want to. He's a condescending person for the most part. Don't really like him too much. And guys, I'm going to release a special video very soon for whoever's on here. I don't even know because I don't have any kind of way of telling here. But special video very soon about that I have. This is from my own personal library. It's an old one, and South to Heaven knows because he was there for it. So I'll let him talk about it, and we're gonna break that out this week in memory of Ed Werder and his his thing. But there was just a little I don't know. I happened to be there with this Cowboy fan who really gave it to Ed Werder. And again, Ed Werder said when he's defending Scott Linehan, which is really and then when he's not defending him, he's defending Jason Garrett most of the time. But then he's saying now, like, he's putting it on someone. He's just he's like grasping here, guys. And he's like, I understand there's some questionable play calling, failure to recognize Chaz Green issue in Atlanta. And that, as a coaching staff, offensive coordinator and head coach, that falls on both of them. It's on Garrett because he doesn't step in and change things. Green Bay game. You overrule it and say, don't give Dak the option to run pass option it, like in Seattle. Even if it's set up to be Dak's decision, take the decision out of his hands, like last season. And that's where the Cowboys offensive coordinator Scott Linehan has failed us Cowboy fans and the Cowboy team and the players.
And then on second and something, they chose to pass.
On second down against the Seahawks, they chose to pass. It wasn't a set running play or anything. That's not Dak. That was the set play by Linehan. And again, that's Linehan, right? And we can say all we want, but who green-lights that? The guy who's running the team is Jason Garrett, or is it? Is it Jerry Jones? Look, Jerry Jones is running this team. And I'm not saying that in a bad or good way. He's the owner. He can do whatever he wants, honestly speaking. But we're talking about what's best for this team. It's a different question. And I think you have to really look at things and say, we can't get rid of Jerry Jones. You want to not buy any more jerseys or hats and stuff? We're going to still represent the Cowboys. We're going to advertise for Jerry Jones when we walk around every day of our. You see us here. We always advertising Dallas Cowboys stuff because we love the Cowboys always. But doesn't mean we have to buy new stuff. And that's what I'm trying to say. Right now, we're just going to take a break. Just regular fans taking a break. It's not a protest movement or anything like that. We're just chilled out. We're going to just. We got enough stuff. We got Zeke's jersey. We got Zeke's jersey. We got Dak's jersey. We got Bailey's jersey. That's just a handful. This is the most recent ones. Our kids got Zeke jerseys. So I'm just saying, guys, we're all cowboyed up right now. We're in for the long run, but we probably would buy more. I was getting ready to buy a Chidobe Awuzie jersey, and nothing against him because I love the way he's progressing. We'll see how he continues. Now I get some time to rest. Yes, because of Jerry Jones's mindset, and I'm allowed to have that mindset if I'd like to. Which I do, and I will. So I'm not going to be spending money with Jerry Jones. And if we ever do buy anything that's Cowboy related, if by chance we ever do, you can bet it'll be something that would be not in Jerry Jones's hands. Let's just put it that way. It might just last a season or two. We don't know. But for now, we don't have to buy anything, guys. We'll see. Maybe we see some changes too. We have a say in this, I guess you could say, as fans. And we can't do anything about it when it comes to Jerry Jones or Jason Garrett or Scott Linehan or anybody, honestly speaking, guys. But we can cheer or boo or not buy and see and go from there. I mean, I never am down on the Cowboys as a team. You got to understand that. Merchandise and jerseys and gear and all that stuff, that's just, that we have a lot of that stuff. And I love the fact that, Brian brought us, questioned us on that basically when we brought it up to him about Scott Linehan and about the fact that, we don't want to sit there and spend our money on a product that is being stubbornly handled by the manager of all managers of that team, and that is Jerry Jones. So people have petitions to try to get Jerry Jones to fire Jason Garrett. Great idea, but it's not going to work. Doesn't make a difference. Who cares? The only way you can even have Jerry Jones even look over to his side, and that's all he's going to do, if that at all, is not buy his stuff. And even a little dip, he might look over like this and just say, "Who cares?" And nothing's going to happen, guys. It's just our own personal choice. You do what you want. We're not going to look down on you if you do. That's up to you, guys. Buy your stuff, and that's cool too. Nobody's looking down at that, which is where I disagree with Brian Brodus, where he tried to paint us as like a bandwagon fan. We're just being a real fan, reality-based, I believe. And again, I'm not saying we know everything that's going on in Dallas, or we're knowing what's going on in the coaching staff and those, I know nothing compared to Brodus or to the Cowboy coaching staff when it comes to football. But when I know enough that if something's not working, you don't continue letting it go that way. That machine might be rolling for them in their mind, but it's not rolling when anybody else from the outside is looking at this. You can see where the problems are, and they're pretty obvious. Now, and there's multiple ones. And I'm not saying it's not some on the players as well. Of course it's on the players. But when you see the same Jason Garrett style of coaching, when you see the same I'm not even talking about Marinelli here right now. I think he's somebody we might have to keep, because I think the players do like him, trust him, and he's done a good job with what he's had to, deal with. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but when you get a lot of rookies and injuries, you got to adjust and you got to do things. And he's done things wrong, but a lot of right. And I think the players like him, so he might be staying on. But someone like Linehan needs to go. He needs to get the heck out. His play calling is opposite what we need. His fancy stuff is at the wrong time. He's done it last year. He's done it. It's a consistent thing. He breaks it out once in a blue moon. The tricky plays, the trick plays, and all that stuff. Usually it don't work. Usually it hurts us. But the idea here is that if we run heavy, we're more than likely to be successful. That goes from last year, and that goes into this year. Once we had our offensive line established, past the Denver game, past the Rams game and past the Green Bay game. I'm talking about after the bye, our offensive line was set until the injuries with Tyron Smith and the unpreparedness of the adjustment, which is on the coaching staff with the Chaz Green issue in that Falcon game. And Dak has never been the same since then, because he's always looking over his left side. He's always looking over his shoulder now. So, again, there's a whole lot of things. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ranting and raving and going crazy here. First and foremost, guys, don't forget, if you're watching right now, hit that like button to this stream. It helps the channel out. We're just a young channel, just speaking our mind, man. Not trying to be special, just doing our thing. Speaking about the Cowboys for an hour or so a day. No skin off our back. We do it anyways. So, hit that like. If you're new, hit subscribe. It helps. Of course, they help. We're just growing, guys. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit that notification bell, because we go live a lot. We do a lot of live streams to involve you guys. And again, we're going to go into you guys here in a minute. But when I get Fiance back here, she'll help me out with the chat a little bit better. And then, as you can see above, guys, Dano, DJ Crown J, who just donated 5 today, guys. Thank you so much, DJ Crown J. Slim Shady. So Dano, DJ Crown J, Slim Shady, Ghost. That's right, and Rave, and also we have a bunch of other people that have donated, like Space Cowboy 17, and Billy Sarducci, Cowboys Abroad. Who else? That's pretty much, I don't know, a couple other people, and other people have helped us in many different ways. Cowboys X Factors also. So, guys, thank you all. Much love. Without you guys, where would we be? I don't know. We're talking to ourselves, I guess, like Mark Holmes says, right? Or to his doll, I guess, to Jobu. Dallas Cowboy Football News says, ain't no way you're bandwagon. Thank you, Dallas Cowboy Football News. Thank you. Brodus tried to paint it that way, but then he came back afterwards. You got to check it out on Twitter, guys. Make sure you follow us, My Cowboys Family at Twitter, whatever that damn thing is. It's all linked below in our stuff. Zeke is innocent for sure. Linehan needs to go. Thank you, Dallas Cowboy Football News. Just because we're talking about not buying new merchandise, it must have ruffled some feathers there, guys, because that affects everyone's, I guess, pocket over there when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys media, staff, whatever you want to call it. It's funny that he picked that comment out of all of them, and I'm not making it out of an ignorant way. I'm not trying to make a thread either. I'm a Cowboy fan for life till I die. I'm just saying that, I don't have to take the crap either, as a fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to pay hard-earned money for stuff that is going to help, really, Jerry Jones and any controversy that can happen. He loves it. And I'm not saying he does it on purpose. I know he's hurting right now. Poor Jerry Jones. He's hurting. With all those billions of freaking dollars, he's hurting. I shouldn't make fun of it because I know he really is hurting. He really is pained by this loss. I can see it on TV. But I'm still saying he's making that money, right? And we're paying that money. So think about that before you guys go out and just rush and buy 10 jerseys, all right? Be smart about it. Oh no, for sure. And who said that? LT. LT. No, I know you said, but that call, that pass play, that we made, that Dak missed Beasley. He was under duress and under pressure. So that was a tough play for Dak to make. I know other quarterbacks might have waited that extra half second and made that strike. So I understand what you're saying. Dak might have jumped the gun and tried to run it in himself, get a little too run happy. But they shouldn't have. My point about that play, that specific play. My point is that the Cowboys should have lined up with 3 tight ends, one receiver over there, Dez Bryant if you want, and a fullback and Zeke, and basically have everybody come in the box. And I'm telling you guys, 3 runs like that, we score a touchdown. I can almost guarantee it. You know it, I know it, Brian Brothers knows it, and Jerry Jones knows it, and Jason Garrett knows it. But Jason Garrett messed up by not stepping in.
Bro, this was part of the worst Cowboys draft in history.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Well, I'll have to check on that. But here's the thing. You don't give Dak or any quarterback that option. When you have that running game, you got the best running back in the league back, the most complete running back in the league back. Although he didn't look like it at times, he still is elite. And Zeke almost had 100 yards based on barely any carries from the second, third, and fourth quarters. He averaged between 4 and 5, about 4.5 carries a quarter.
24 carries for 97 yards.
24 for 97 yards for Zeke. And so he's averaging 47 yards from the second quarter on. The first quarter, he had 11 carries for 50 yards. Over 4.5 yards per carry average. And even with so the 24 looks good, but it's the 24 meaningless ones. That's why, let me rephrase that. 13 meaningless carries in a way. And not, obviously he had a couple good ones in that group, but they were just not pounding the ball as they should have, like they did against the Packers. And they can, and they could, and they did do it against the Seahawks, and they went away from it. Why? Why doesn't Jason Garrett step in? And that's what I'm talking about. That's where Jason Garrett has to be taken some responsibility on this, and he has to be put to blame. We've seen this multiple times, multiple coordinators, similar kind of attitude with the clap, and gum chew. But my point is that he's got to change his. He's not changing, guys. That's it. 10 years of this crap, whether it's offensive coordinator or assistant head coach, slash assistant head coach. Do the Jason Garrett, guys. Let's do the Jason Garrett. With the marker, with the card. You guys remember. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, that against Oakland, if you guys are still lost on that. But my point is that Jason Garrett is not. He's had his time. All right. He's one of the longest tenured quarterbacks here in the NFL. I think there's like half the league is like 2 years. 2 years, I think, is the difference between quarterbacks. So between head coaches, new head coaches, I think it's about 2 years. So Garrett's already like halfway older than every coach out there. He's been there too long, guys. He's got his chance. It's time to move on. Now, I say if he would do it, move him to an important executive front office spot, guys, helping the Cowboys in other ways. That I can go with, but you got to move him away from the coaching spot. As far as the head coaching spot is concerned, I don't think he is that person, but he is Jerry Jones's puppet. And I don't know if that's offensive or not. If it is, so be it. But I know that that aside from Jerry Jones liking Jason Garrett as a person, which I believe is genuine, just like the pain he's feeling right now about this loss for Jerry Jones. But I also think that he knows that he can basically tell him what to do, and Jason Garrett's going to do it. He's a yes man, yes sir, whatever you want to call it. So I think that Garrett is down to be molded. Now, what do you think that some big-name coaches won't come here? Why do you think Bill Parcells left here? It's not just because the players are the issues. We had a good team he had started building for us, Bill Parcells, and then Wade Phillips took it over, and then Jason Garrett took it over. And we've got nothing out of it, guys. We got 1 win within that time frame, 2 wins in that time frame. I don't even know, maybe 1 win. I'm sorry, in that group of time frame. And then with I guess with more of the Garrett guys using Romo, Linehan, gunslinging kind of playbook, we got to the catch with Dez Bryant, the catch, and that ironic now. But yes. That against Green Bay that we lost in the playoffs, and then which we did beat the Lions before that. And then, of course, last year, because we had the Romo issue, after the Philly game in week 2, and then that was kind of a disastrous season there without Romo and without a quarterback. Kellen Moore was one of them, by the way, guys. And then we got Dak Prescott and Zeke, and things turned around last year because we were conservative, we were run heavy. And yes, Linehan deserves credit for that because he did alter and adjust his playbook to match the players' abilities instead of the other way around, which is what he's trying to do this season, which is obviously it's a whole season and he's failed miserably. And it's not just the injuries, and it's not just Zeke's suspension. You can see the play call is still bad. So when you talk about that Beasley play, even if there was a touchdown and yay, we win the game even, and you see it even every week against the Giants, you can hear us talking about it sitting right here on this couch, saying the same thing during the games, that we don't like the way that Jason Garrett is allowing this team to be play called, whether on offense or defense sometimes, especially, though, on offense. Okay, that's the biggest issue I have, especially him being an offensive coordinator. He should see the issues in this team, but he's pass happy as well. He's a quarterback, formerly, of course, with multiple teams, with Cowboys, arena football, with the San Antonio whatevers, and, Princeton quarterback. But, so he's about passing the ball. And again, I think that he needs to learn to step in at the right times. He has not done that multiple times in multiple years on a consistent basis. That's it. So I want to get some of these questions, but I don't know if I can. My situation is not working here. Sorry, guys. Give me one moment here. If you have not.
What position group do you think we need to address at Dogwood 1001?
Dogwood? The Dogwood?
Yeah.
No, Dogwood. So, yeah, the position.
And again, I'm assuming he needs a draft.
Yeah, in the draft, I'm going to say, it depends. If you're going to let go of Dez Bryant, you might want to think a receiver. But honestly, you can probably get a good one in the second round for a receiver. I would say linebacker, if we can somehow get Roquan Smith. I'm hearing good things about him. I'll be honest, though, guys, and I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know much about college football. So once we do a little bit of research and see how they play, what kind of schemes they're in, which are important to know. We also have a special guest coming soon, guys. Actually, aside from DJ Crown J, who we're going to talk with on Friday, Rave also is going to make an appearance hopefully one day soon to address different draft stuff, guys, along with your guys' opinions and names for the draft. We're going to have a draft special one day soon, so keep on that. And make sure, again, I know I'm going to say it again for the new guys in here, and we're going to do a shout-out right now, but hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get our live stream goes and breaking news and live and Madden and game day stuff. We're going to do a lot of other stuff than just football as well, guys, but we're going to go into the playoffs and do playoff games as well. Remember that, even if it's not the Cowboys. Obviously not this season, but we're going to be doing a lot of, playoff games, hopefully watching the Eagles lose in one of them.
So, Billy Murphy, what's up? He said free agent wide receiver. The only problem with that is I think the Cowboys are one of the worst teams when it comes to making good moves in free agency. We're good at drafting guys, we're good at finding guys, but we're not good at finding free agents. And with certain positions, like I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, we need to draft left tackle Tyron Smith. At the draft position we're going to be in, we're not going to get a Tyron Smith. And at the end of the day, Tyron Smith is Tyron Smith. He's a hard guy to replace. But if he's going to be hurt, why wouldn't you pay a tiny bit more money for a veteran who really knows what he's doing back there that's not going to fall apart? Or again, I guess find a way to invest more in Byron Bell and help build him up, continue to have him improve.
I agree.
I'm not really sure what the move is there, but the Cowboys need to figure that out because
I agree.
I hate to say it, but I think Tyron Smith will be retired in 2 years. I think this next year is going to be one of his final, true, full playing type.
I can't really disagree with you because he's having a lot of issues.
He has a degenerative back issue. He's had surgeries pretty much every single offseason on it. But this year, he pretty much is going to end the season with a hip, back, groin, and knee injury. Guys, this man is beat up. And I hate to say it, so talented beyond means, intelligent.
I don't want to lose him. I can't accept that. To me, it's like in my mind. Oh my goodness. It would be horrible to hear that because that would definitely endanger his Hall of Fame induction. He is that kind of player.
He deserves better than that, but
that would hurt. I
just think his body just
can't handle
keep up with the level of play that we need. And again, left tackle is a demanding spot, but on top of that, the Cowboys, when you depend on your offensive line the way that we do, they carry this team in a way.
Right. No, I agree.
So, it hurts to say, but I do think that free agency is the way to go. I'm just terrified that the Cowboys won't do that and that Byron Bell might not be able to step up and fill that role.
He can't. We got to let go of Bell and Green, open up some cap space. I see here that Billy Murphy says free agent wide receiver. I think if we're going to get rid of Dez, we need to go with a expensive free agent, a good one. We got Jarvis Landry, we got Devontae Adams.
And Almighty Clay, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here as well.
Let's do a shout out, but I do before the shout out. Cowboys X Factor brings up a good question here. Can we call into the show? I want to know how to figure that out. I got to talk to Law Nation. You guys know how to call into a show. How to make a free. He has like a free number you can sign up for it, so you can have somebody call in. And we can set something up like that. If we can do that, we will definitely do that with the fans.
Yeah, because again,
that'd be
we do
fun.
want to hear from you guys as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's hard to catch every question right now, guys. Again, that's why after the 1,000 subscriber, which we got last week. We have the super chat now. It's enabled, so that helps us actually read the questions as well. Even if you just donate $1 or something like that.
He doesn't think Tyron Smith will make it through the whole season. I think he might miss a few games, but I think he'll make it throughout.
How many games? How many seasons has he made it throughout the whole way?
Not
anytime recent.
A game or two every year.
Yeah, very true. So I mean,
kind of like Sean Lee, because Sean Lee, except for last year, where I think he made every single game, and I don't think he was injured at all.
No, I know.
Anything major.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know. It's something we have to really think about. LT Metters makes a good question about why we're so bad at home, and I think it's because feels like it's like a Jerry Jones
disadvantage. That's what I think.
It feels like it's too much of a mall environment. And I'm not saying anything bad about Jerry's World. I think it was state of the art. I haven't been to it, just seen a lot of things about it, and it looks beautiful. But I do think that it takes a little bit out of the being into the game as much. I think we need to get more, a little more closed in. I don't know what it is. It's missing something at home, and I don't know why the Cowboys play so poorly there. I don't know. It's a troubling question. It's been since the beginning of this stadium, and since after the 90s, and those years, it's been kind of downhill from then when it comes to the crowds. Oh, is it too low?
It's just because I'm talking a little bit quieter than normal.
Oh, you want to strain the voice, yeah.
Under the weather.
Oh no, I see. It's not working. Your stream.
Really?
Oh yeah, hold on.
Oh.
Shoot. Sorry. Check it now. Make sure.
I've been talking.
I'm sorry, baby. You
can
hear it through mine. I'm sorry,
I know. We both noticed it, but thank you, Dogwood, for helping us out with that.
Dogwood in the house.
Audio. Sebastian said, "Will the Sunday be the last time we see Dez in a Cowboys uniform?"
Could be. You don't know.
Maybe.
That's a great.
I'm gonna say I hope not, because I think the best thing for them to do is to try and restructure his contract, but all of that really is up to Dez. Dez has to be,
and then cut him. Sneaky.
No, I'm sorry, that'd be doing him dirty.
That is dirty.
So Dallas Cowboys football news.
I
spend $2K easily when I go to AT&T Stadium, and that's all about having fun. So, oh man, honestly, we would love to go to AT&T Stadium one day.
Yes,
and
one day we hopefully will.
But I kind of jokingly said.
But again,
said this weekend over the game, I'm not sure if I would want to go to Dallas Stadium just because AT&T Stadium, because the Cowboys lose so much at home. I don't want to see them lose.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too, guys. That would actually be breaking we're not going next year any games because and again, we do have that schedule as we said yesterday. You guys should know it already. Not the schedule, but the teams we play, our opponents are that's out, not the actual schedule. So, that's one of those things where. We would, if we went to the game, it'd actually be supporting Jerry Jones and his decision making.
Yeah. So Billy Murphy said exactly. We need a guy right now, not a draft project. We need to form the new triplets. And then Andrew DeCall said Cowboys won't shell out big dollars for free agents. I'd love to see them spend some money on a big one technique.
And recently they haven't. You're right. And yeah, one technique is something we do need in there, where it allow David Irving to flow in other locations. But I think he would help us more than in the one.
Yeah.
So
now I know the big rumor. As far as coaching changes, that does seem to be pretty certain, is that specific position coaches are all on the facing the end of their contracts, and a lot of them are looking to be replaced. So like quarterback coach and wide receiver coach and position coaches like that. I mean, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some look at that as well, but again, it feels like they're trying to almost pass the buck again to the lower minions to kind of say, oh yeah, we're not the problem, they're the problem, because they're not developing our wide receivers well enough. So that's why our routes aren't working. Well, I know, maybe adjust your routes to your players a little bit better too, because again, if Dez runs the same two routes over and over and over again, I mean, our kids can cover him. Yeah. Just if they runs the same two routes, I mean, you're gonna figure it out. And I don't know. Just my thoughts here. Anyway, I love the Cowboys. I'm not spending $2K. So, hey, you know what? If you got it and that's what you love,
go for it.
Everybody does what they want with their money. I know me personally, I would love to do that. But Jerry Jones, you've broken my heart. a lot.
And again,
I need time.
And she's only been here 4 years. She don't really know what the breaking of the heart is. And
that's
the
the problem.
years.
This is all I've known is like this disappointment. This, oh my God, we've been so close. At least you got to enjoy, you know, the Cowboys in their prime and in their glory, and you know, but you've also been there for their horrific
1-15,
downfall.
3-13.
Yeah, so
back when they weren't anything in the 80s, really not much after Staubach left. So, and I didn't know anything. You know, I did not remember the Staubach days. I didn't know the Super Bowls, so I just knew of that. But I was a fan already of the team, so. You know, it was something where I dealt with Danny White, and of course the great Tony Dorsett, and some other great players like Ed Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Everson Walls. I mean, Drew Pearson. So there's a lot of guys, and some of them, Jim Jeffcoat, went into the newer years, you know, and kind of finished their careers with Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones's era, you can say, taken over there. And they, you know, some of them got to the Super Bowl too, you know, like the Ken Nortons and those guys that were there from those days, like Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman was drafted by them, and Emmett the next year, which changed everything. But we stuck with a great offensive line that kind of was not expected to be great. Yeah, that turned out to be a great wall for Emmitt Smith to really do his damage and open things up for everybody out there. And that's the way I think our team is built this year. Dak can be like Aikman. If, you know, I don't know about the deep pass every single time, but if you keep doing running the ball consistently and doing what we did against Seattle, for example, and then we went away from it for the most part on a consistent basis, that's how you lose games. And that's why we did. We don't have Aaron Rodgers back there,
again,
or Tony Romo, or Tom. Even I want to say Tom Brady, but Drew Brees, or you know, a gunslinger back there. It's going to be the Stafford. It's going to be just throwing it mostly. Stafford. That's where he got. You know, Linehan used to coach him as the offensive coordinator. So, you know, that's the kind of coach he is. And Dak is not that kind of player. He's not a Stafford or Romo. I'm not saying that's bad or good.
I think that he's just not sure what to do with himself now that he has a quarterback that isn't the style of quarterback he's used to coaching.
Well, he should know because he did it last year, and he went away from it. And I want to know why. And that should cost him his job. And Garrett should cost him his job for multiple times not questioning or stopping or altering the play call sometimes from Linehan. That's your job as a coach. If you see something wrong there, you got to step in. And I don't know if that's the rules on that. If someone's going to tell me differently, I doubt you can. Because as a head coach, you do have final say. And if he green lights it and says he has no say, or that's the way they do it there in his crappy coaching. Because that's not what a head coach is. The head coach got to take control sometimes. Bill Parcells would have. That's why he left, because he couldn't take the BS from what was coming from a lot of different things, but also from the front office and the Jerry Jones side of things as well.
He saw the signs on the wall. So, and then LT Matters, if you go to Lincoln, Philly, it's football and rabid fans. I try to go to the Eagle Dallas game. First row was $300 a piece. Tough for the average fan. And again, guys, you know,
expensive.
You know, we love the Cowboys, but you know, we have a family and bills and all that stuff. So it's hard to justify that kind of price tag, you know, along with everything else. But either way, outside of that, and then Cowboys X Factor, what did we do before YouTube? Yell at our TV a lot more and curse a lot more at our TV. Now we do it on here with you guys.
Try not to curse, yes. Trust me, guys, it's actually cut the cursing down to like 95% down. Trust me.
A lot. So
we try to keep it family friendly for a reason, and I guess it's worked.
And Sebastian, I agree with you 100%. He says we need to use Switz as wide receiver more often, preferably in the slot. Yes, we only used him once for a 3-yard reception,
a little out.
And that was it.
Like,
that's it. That's it. Other than that, he was a faux quarter or running back and didn't fool anybody. And then LT Metter said, I love how Seattle built their stadium specifically for noise as an advantage. I hate them. That's excellent design. And that's a team doing everything to gain every advantage.
And that's smart. That's strategy.
So,
not to look. I mean, again, I understand that the
Dallas
niceness
Cowboy
of the
Football News wants to know how old you are. Sorry, I guess I outed you a little bit by saying you were there for the good old years. So, but
say, you know, the late 30s, early 40s, maybe 50s or 60s or 70s. Just joking. What was that?
You have a pulse, so there you go. You're alive. Let me see. Andrew DeCall. Dez's bread and butter has always been slants, dig routes, back shoulder fades, and in routes. It's frustrating to see when the coaching staff doesn't play to the players' strengths.
Correct. The team's strength, you know? And that's the other thing. That it takes Dak and makes him look bad. If you take let me put it in this kind of speech, guys, and be honest with me. What do you think about this comparison? This I don't want to say metaphor, because it's not. It's a straight comparison. Take Aaron Rodgers and put him into a running team that uses him in a lot of run pass option plays, a lot of you know, like a Russell Wilson type guy. He's gonna have to do those kind of things. All right, he's got to. That's the only way his team's gonna survive, is if he does those type of things.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of quarterback Aaron Rodgers is. So that then in itself tells you that, you know, you have to coach to that player, that superstar, that leader of your team's strengths and weaknesses. And that would be, he's not a good, he's tricky. He can get out of things and scramble out of the pocket, but he's not a scrambler, a runner. That's not his specialty. He's not running. You know, Dak runs better than him. You cannot take, you know, if you put Dak into that system, into Seattle, he's gonna excel more. I truly do believe. And they may not as good as Russell Wilson, and definitely not yet. But he's gonna excel better in that kind of system where he has to create stuff with his feet. Unlike something where Rodgers would never survive in Seattle.
But quick side note, why the heck does the Dallas Cowboys tell Dak to run the ball more than Zeke half the time? At least in the Seattle game.
Yeah.
Like they had him run in a lot of risky situations.
Not more than Zeke, but yes.
Not more than Zeke, but again, it's situations where you're questioning why you would risk your quarterback that way. He took a few hits to the head that we were kind of like, okay. Close. That's why you have Zeke there. So, you know, protect your quarterback too and make smart decisions about that. You know, I don't know. I feel like every play you think about now, but you also want to think about the future. You know, you're risking your quarterback every hit he takes.
That's for sure. So, yeah, listen, let me clarify on what this whole thing started from with why.
Yeah, no playoffs for the Cowboys. Eagles 0-1, and you know what? We deserve it because we played like hot garbage.
Correct.
So there you go.
And played it on the field with the players, and also, you know, they executed a lot of times poorly. You know, bad missed field goals, Dak's bad throws, decisions, Dez's drops, Dez's causes for interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a gold star for performing badly.
But also, you get in trouble for the coaches to get in trouble for this too, as they should, and that goes from especially to Linehan and especially to Jason Garrett for not stepping in at the right time and forcing the running into our strength of our offense, and that goes to Garrett and Linehan for not putting our best players in the best position to our team's strengths, not what are not our strengths. I don't want to say our weakness because our passing is not weakness, but it is much weaker than it is in our, you know, for our running game, especially getting Zeke back finally, and we might as well not have gotten him back for the way that the Cowboys used him. And I don't mean 24 carries. I mean 11 in the first quarter, which was fantastic, and then 13 the rest of the game. That's disgusting. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. There's no excuse for that. And it's not like we were down 21 points. We had to throw the ball. We were third quarter. We're still leading, guys. All right. So that's garbage. Now let me just finish this about Jerry Jones here. Let me get off his things to be kind of, you know, we're gonna start wrapping this up, guys. Again, hit that like. Yeah, over an hour. Hit that like, hit subscribe if you're new, guys. Hit the notification bell, and if you want to help us out, hit that super chat or Patreon. It helps us out tremendously. We're going to be
posting content exclusive to Patreon as well, starting in the new year, guys. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be not family friendly, so keep that in mind. And I mean, you know, language.
And just for those of you guys who do prefer things to be family friendly, you know, just
this is our main site, guys. Don't.
Nothing is gonna change. We're still gonna be posting here every day, guys.
Every day.
Of course, streaming our reaction to every Cowboy game. We're gonna be streaming our reaction to a few playoff games, and of course the Super Bowl as well, guys. So, and our content will always be.
We'll be at the Pro Bowl as well, so don't forget that.
Very exciting.
So, guys, here, let me hit the Jerry Jones thing, just so we're clear about this. This is what he said. This is what he said a couple days ago. Just so we're clear about this, I do understand the frustration after you lose a game that has as much meaningfulness as this ball game, but I do get to look at a lot of different things, and I have been around a lot of good head coaches and coordinators, so I feel good about our head coach. So I said that yesterday. I say it again. You know, I want to make sure you guys understand that. Yeah, that attitude means that he's obviously Garrett's staying there. Nothing's
but
moving.
He's also tongue-in-cheek, not really approving of anyone other than Garrett on the coaching staff.
All right, yeah, true.
Just saying that he hasn't spoken positively about anyone other than that.
Dallas Cowboy Football News makes a splash. Yes, yeah, you're right. No, that's the first person that has said that.
Yeah.
Did you say that about publicly? Hold on.
Here, give me a second. And then Dallas Cowboy Football News, thank you so much for that $5 super chat with the message. Let's see. So, are we forgetting Wade Wilson, the quarterback coach, years of failure? Is he our current quarterback coach as well right now?
Yes, I think he is, isn't he?
So, and again, the big difference last year.
He's going to be cut. He's going to be gone.
The big difference last year, guys, was Tony Romo all the way. Tony Romo in Dak's ear helped Dak be so successful as a rookie, made such a difference. If all the Cowboy stars could align, Tony Romo, hear us out. Come back to the Cowboys as a coach. I really doubt it's going to happen, guys. But, you know, and we would have to do some research to see who we would want to replace, I guess, the quarterback coach or some of these positional coaches. And I'm not going to lie, for me, that's going to be very tough because I don't know too many of the coaches and things like that. But I do know the style of coach I would like in general. And I just want a coach that's going to be able to help Dak, you know, succeed in the areas that he has trouble with, but continue to work on the things that he's successful at. I want him to improve those even more. And I feel like that's something we also didn't do this year where, you know, Dak's running is great and his scrambling is great. but we didn't really do anything to help him progress in that either, other than force him to do it a lot because we were struggling. So I don't know. I want a coach that's going to be able to help Dak as much as he can and be really dynamic and, again, improve his passing ability and his accuracy for sure. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. You can't.
And obviously, whatever coach is doing this, Wade Wilson,
he's
doesn't seem to be doing the job.
He was our backup a while back when played for us as a backup.
What
Jason
about
Garrett,
what's his face? Moore. Kellen Moore coming back as a quarterback coach. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Jerry
one day that's
Jason
very
Garrett
possible.
Has
he likes
been crazy about saying. Who is it? Not just him. Linehan has also been insane. It was crazy saying, "Oh, we love him because he has such a football brain, football knowledge," and we're like, okay, but that doesn't translate to playing ability on the field.
Exactly. I mean, you got to be able to perform as well, not just one or the other. And you might have one good game here and there, like Jason Garrett did in his career, and he did help us against Green Bay Packers in that game way back when. But come on, man, it's only so long. He got 10 years already of coaching. He's not doing what he can do with a good group of players with good talent he's had for years before this good new rookie group that's just come these last 2 years in the draft. Before this, we had some talent, obviously, with Romo and Dez still there and a lot of other guys, and we still just keep falling short, and it should not be occurring so consistently, and not just because we're mad because we're losing. It's because of the way we're losing with the same non-adjustment from the Jason Garrett-led teams.
Yes.
And not just this year. Again, not just this year. Last year, they made an adjustment, and it worked. And then they went away from it, and he readjusted back to what might have worked for Romo, but it's not going to work for Dak and Zeke as well. Our strength to be run first, and that's what we did last year, and we went away from that. It's costing us. It's cost us this year. It should cost Linehan his job. And honestly, in the management of the games and management of things, whether it's a coin toss, as simple as that, or jumping in to stop Linehan from throwing the ball to Dez Bryant in Green Bay, which stopped the clock and didn't let Green Bay use a timeout. Could have ran the ball, got the first down and goal, forced Green Bay to use their last timeout, and then run the clock a play or two more down and give Aaron Rodgers 30 seconds to try to tie the game.
So, and aside from Lonnie, I agree completely. I don't like Kellen Moore. I'm just telling you what Linehan and Garrett's excuse has been for keeping him on the team as long as they did, because they love his football knowledge.
Right.
So,
that's what they said.
Heck, if you're going to just keep him on the team, you might as well make him a coach and have him put that knowledge to use off of the field and away from him with the ball in his hands. So, let's see.
So here, as far as Jason Garrett is concerned, Jerry Jones talked about Jason Garrett today. He said his job is not an issue. Let me say this right. His job is not an issue here at all. Meaning Jason Garrett, he's going to be there. But then he also wouldn't, like you said earlier, he would not rule out changes to other parts of the coaching staff, a.k.a., as Dallas Cowboys Football News stated, Wade Wilson, quarterback coach, probably gone.
Even, again, we're hoping Scott Linehan as well. And a few of you guys have also been saying Marinelli, because for at least the first half of the season, even though we had our great sack master, our defense was still not quite gelling.
Yeah,
I think after the bye, we started getting
I think Marinelli should be given a chance because of his relationship with the players. It seems like, it would seem like.
I personally think he's probably going to get one more year, and he should. At least, because it seems
not his fault.
He was able to take our rookies.
He adjusted.
And a lot. Yeah, he was able. And our defense was pretty successful. They held us in the game. A lot of these games, they saved our butts.
Especially towards the end of the season.
Turnovers. We're getting sacks. We're getting, great. Our corners have improved. I mean, night and day, guys. Yeah. I'm glad Brandon Carr's gone.
We're rookies.
Yeah.
And Claiborne.
With the more effective use of Byron Jones, who a lot of you guys are complaining a lot about, and not saying that he still doesn't have things he needs to improve on, but I think the changes we made to where we're placing him and how we're using him have improved his play and improved all of the play across guys. We even had to say nice things about Jeff Heath this season.
We never were on Jeff Heath at all.
We're not
liking
Jeff
him
Heath
at all.
Fans, but so he was able to do something like
more about Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones said that it's not in the Cowboys' best interest right now to be considering a coaching change, head coaching change. He also said about the game, quote, "It was there for the taking. We should be disappointed. I'm sick." That's what he said. I'm sick. All those things that he's saying are the right things, except for the keeping the Garrett thing going. I think that's something that he needs to acknowledge, and he acknowledged that there are assistants on the staff with expiring contracts that they will look at and see if they're going to rehire for the coming year.
Yeah. Now, let me see. LT Matters wants to know if it's time to replace Wade. He blocks well but contributes to your issue. No space created. I think he's good, but the worst leading tight end in the division. Now,
That's
I don't know
a good
about
point.
the worst leading tight end. I'd have to look at
Reed's
the
worse
numbers.
because he's injured all the time. So I guess you have to say that Reed is worse.
Jordan Reed. Okay.
Yeah, Jordan Reed's got to be at the bottom because he hasn't played enough. But so obviously Witten has better numbers than him. But I will say that Witten does not create the space. I say he's definitely got another year or two at most. And I think that it's got to be Rico either soon or we got to go tight end soon. But I do think that his blocking has even diminished a little bit. He's got a lot more holding calls this season.
Yeah, so
whiffed on a couple big blocks that we needed from him, whether Zeke was there or not.
Yeah.
Denver, the team was not gelled yet.
And even dropped a handful of passes that he normally, he doesn't drop many, but I do think he still dropped like one or two more than he usually would.
Yeah, no, he has dropped a couple.
Yeah,
and
so
he made some great catches too.
He's made some great ones. So I do think his time is coming. I feel bad that so many people are saying it in the sense that I feel bad for him because his heart and his everything is in this game. He doesn't want to retire. He still has a lot of fighting spirit left. But the reality is he's not performing the way that he used to. Even last year, he was already on a decline, you know what I mean? But he was still able to be a big playmaker.
Yeah.
We didn't see that this
and as LT is posting over and over again, we were seeing it here. Ertz, I would say he is the leader in the NFC right now, in NFC East. And Ingram, I would not give him, Ertz that much time, though, to say he's got that spot safely secured for a long time. I think Ingram is a dangerous weapon, too, guys. And then Reed, and the overall span of things when he's not injured, I agree with this list by LT Metters, and that's in this sense, yes.
So, and guys, I know
but wait till Rico comes out there. Zeus comes out there. He might jump up there, maybe right behind Ertz, maybe past Ertz. We'll see.
Guys, sorry, it is tough to catch all of your comments. We're
sorry, guys. Super chat helps though with that. That is one of the few things I do realize that at the very least, if at the very least you just want to read your question, we keep missing it. Super chat, even $1, I think you can.
I would have to check the settings. I don't know how we have it.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I didn't touch the settings. I just did whatever. I think it's $1.
Way, guys,
that's an easy way for us to see the comments. It also helps us out. And if you ever give over 10, guys, we're gonna send to you guys. Well, we're gonna wait to show it live on the stream soon. When we receive it, we'll show you. And
we're really excited.
We're gonna have a whole bunch of you that we're sending it out for. So just
DJ
keep
Crownjay said, "I'm willing to give Marinelli another chance. The way he played those rookies and often moves Byron Jones cornerback. Yes. I want to see what he does with Lewis, Uzi, and Woods.
I agree with him on that. I agree. Yeah, he is a little bit outdated, Marinelli, DJ Crownjay, but I do agree with you in the concept for sure. I like what he's been doing with these rookies. In the beginning, if you remember, I think he was a little bit indecisive about our rookies' law. Lewis, Uzi, and Woods. When it came to playing him at corner, because he wanted to make sure that, they weren't going to get burned deep. They're young. They might not know how to step right, move right. And thrusting them into the game like that, a lot of them had to be thrown into the starting lineups against major players. So he played them back too often. And that's not the player's fault. That's Marinelli's coaching or maybe the position coach. I don't know what it is. But whoever it is, it needs to be fixed. And Marinelli is head of that. So he should be fixing that.
Hopefully, like you said, a little bit more experience and practice time will help.
That's what I'm saying.
Shorten that
but as the season progressed, you can see he started playing them closer. Awuzie more aggressive, Lewis more aggressive, Woods more aggressive, and I think it's helping the Cowboys team overall when that change.
Yeah.
As far as Dak Prescott, guys, I know some of you guys have been talking about Dak Prescott and he's bad. Some people say he's good. Don't fall out of trust with him yet, guys. He's still got a long way in his career. He had sophomore slump, and we basically changed the playbook to something a lot different. We had some of last year's plays, but we didn't use them as much when I'm referring to the running game. And I think that opens up Dak to be more accurate, more precise, and have a better quarterback rating, more touchdowns. It's more positivity, more ability to move the ball in the air as well when you can establish that running game. And even though we had that Zeke thing hanging over our heads, we didn't really perfect that until after the offensive line really gelled together, and the offensive coaches decided to run the ball a little more often. I want to know why did Linehan decide to run almost every play against Green Bay on that drive until the end? Of course, when we got in the red zone, we got cute, and really hurt us when that incompletion to Dez Bryant in the corner, which that wasn't Dez Bryant's fault. That was a bad coaching call. And even though it was a run pass option, trust me, guys, if you watch that play, you can see it was a called pass in a run pass option formation act, So Dak Prescott, first half of this season, he threw for 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,818 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Second half of the season, the last 8 games, 5 touchdowns, only passing for 5 touchdowns instead of 16. He's thrown for 9 interceptions instead of 4. So what? That gives him 21 touchdowns for the season, and that gives him 13 interceptions for the season. But he had 4, and then he had 9 the second half of the year. So he had 4 in the first half. Passing yards, first half of the year, 1,818. Second half of the year, 1,328. And rushing touchdowns for him, 4 touchdowns at the beginning of the year, 2 at the end of the year, the second half of the games so far. Of course, he has one more game to play, so we have to still figure that into this equation. But right now, so he's got 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 6 rushing touchdowns, and I'm just going to throw it out there, ballpark it, guys, but he's got over 3,000 passing yards.
Yes.
So it's pretty impressive overall for a regular quarterback. He's still got good numbers, guys. Over 3,000 yards is pretty good.
That's awesome.
Over 3,000 yards for a quarterback who's had some really bad games. Some he's won, some he's lost, but bad games, like stat wise.
Yeah.
And he's still doing fantastic. I mean, again, he's doing really good, above average numbers for a quarterback. I would say, not somebody you want to have as a, like an elite quarterback. Yeah. Definitely not that right now.
Now I want to do some shout outs in the chat here real quick.
Yes, shout out time.
Mr. Mike, Mr. Mike 307, thanks for joining us here. Again, your Seahawks kicked our butt. Dallas Cowboy Football News, thanks for being here. Cesar Duarte,
and thank you for the donation, Football News. Thank you.
Saad Lalani, give me just a second, guys. Eric Gonzalez, D. Will, Cesar, I think I said that already. Andrew DeCall, DJ Crown J, always. True Blue Gonzalez. Yo haha. Yo haha, check me out.
That's cool.
So, let me see. Leonardo Benitez, and that's as far back as it'll let me go, guys. But seriously, thank you so much for all of you guys for being here. If you haven't already hit that like button, make sure to do so. It does help out our channel. Let me see.
Hit subscribe
and then,
if you're new, guys.
I have to say, I'm really excited for this weekend's game, if only for the fact that it's the Eagles, and whichever way it goes, something good will hopefully come out of it, whether it's an Eagles win or whether it's a better draft pick.
Right, and that's the thing, guys. We cannot. What helps the Cowboys is honestly a loss. Mm-hmm. But I cannot physically cheer for a loss. So I'm cheering for the Cowboys. I cannot cheer for a loss, but
we'll always be cheering for a Cowboys win.
If we lose, we probably get a 16th and 19th draft pick. If we win, it's probably a 20th to a 23rd draft pick. So it obviously. Oh, DJ Crown J in the house.
Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Ooh, sort of not breaking news, but interesting news. Wentz's knee is worse than they thought. So I know the original estimate was about 6 to 9 months, would put him kind of right into training camp, right? And that's for the later end of that injury recuperation. Right. So guys, hopefully he rehabs and is back
he can still be, the point is he probably won't be 100% when he starts the preseason.
Or he might miss like the first game or two, maybe.
At most, if they have to really be careful, yeah. But DJ Crown J, thank you, brother. Again, he won last week, guys. This guy, he's fantastic. He loves this channel, and we love you guys and love you, DJ Crown J. Yes. Thank you. Actually, as you can see here, he's the winner from last week, and the winner will always have whatever shout out or whatever thing they want, whether it's a business message, if you want a channel represented or a web page, we will put all that information for you if you win the donation of the week. Let's say that
DJ Crown J is actually going to be doing a Google Hangout with us this Friday. We're going to be talking everything Cowboys, guys. So make sure to join us then. DJ Crown J has some great stuff to say as well. We're
very
excited
knowledgeable
to chat
about
with
football.
him.
We cannot wait to have that conversation, and we're going to still have the chat going too. So we'll take questions from here. DJ Crown J will answer them too. He's fantastic, and all you guys are fantastic in here, bringing up all this information, filling it up with with mostly fantastic content that we want to learn from you guys too. So thank you.
Especially that goes for the Cowboy fans. It's fans from other teams too, because
like
we love to
matters,
pick your brain and really get to know your team as well. So and guys,
but we hate the Eagles still forever. Just don't forget that.
Yeah, but make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we do go live. We post every single day. We're here. So let's kind of start wrapping it up and finish up with some of your last minute comments.
Here, guys. Just for this upcoming game specifically. Tomorrow we're gonna have more stat stuff probably coming out. Comparing the Cowboys and Eagles, how we rank and bouncing up with them. But we're going to see some new players for our team. It's going to be really tough to figure out how we're going to do it. When I run that stream on Saturday, I'm going to go like half and half. Half with whoever's going to play for real, the starters, and then half that we know are going to definitely play. And then the other half is going to be the guys that looks like they're going to probably play most of this game. Maybe I'll just do the whole game like that. But Cooper Rush is going to be playing probably maybe half of the game. When Dak's going to be coming out, probably halftime at the latest. We're going to have another thing here, guys. So people ask about Rico. No, Rico's gone for the year.
Yeah,
but we're gonna take a look at Blake Jarwin this week and look for that. I know his cousin is on here. Supposedly his cousin's on here. He's a fan. So Blake Jarwin will be getting some playing time this week, and also that new guy we signed. Trayvon Johnson, he's going to the linebacker that's coming in for Durant, who we released today. Yeah, and then, he'll be playing probably a little bit too, maybe active. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Another guy, was it Lance Lenoir?
Oh, yeah. That's
so
another
Lynn
one.
Senor, a wide receiver that's been
And that's
on our
per
practice
Brian
squad.
Broaddus.
He looked really good in training camp, and we were actually surprised when we did kind of our prediction. We did have him on our list of people we thought he would make the practice squad, but we're still surprised at how wide receiver heavy our practice squad was at the time.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're a little bit glad for that. Hopefully, this guy can step up, and again,
we'll see what he can do.
You never know. Let's see what he can do.
I mean, but definitely, he's gonna be basically he's taking first team snaps with the offense. So
so that just
they're gonna
goes
put
to
him
show
in there.
that they do have, they do expect to play him, and he's going to be out there doing something.
Yeah.
So
and
you think Dak will play first quarter and Cooper will finish?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds right. Let me see.
Who said
Opposing
that?
fans
That's
are cool, just
like
no
that.
trolling. So yeah, guys. LT Matters, I'm not sure if you can super chat through iPhone, but if you want to click the description to our Patreon down below, you can always support and pledge that way.
Yeah.
And there is an option where you can pledge and then take it off so it doesn't charge you again or whatever. So
yeah, and just so you know too, we're gonna do content through there.
Yeah,
we're gonna have
exclusive only to Patreon. We're gonna be doing a little bit of not just Cowboys stuff, but definitely some Cowboys family uncensored content as well. And by uncensored, we just mean there will be adult language.
Yeah.
So you'll be, and we're also going to be doing, a few other fun things, but we'll still be providing, of course, our main content right
through
here.
And again, through here, guys. Also, when you win, if you happen to win 1 week for the super chat leaderboard, the donation sheet leaderboard above us here. It's not just, you don't have to put your business there or whatever you like, but also we can have a chat with you like this, which is always great when you know your football too, and we can pick, we go kind of discuss things and kind of see how we all sit on things, but also.
Or if you're an Eagles fan or a Seahawks fan, we can promote the Seahawks and the Eagles on our channel.
No, cannot do that. But what we can do, now you got to give them ideas now. I gotta go Cowboys over any kind of donation.
Sorry. I get ideas sometimes. I just gotta say.
Now you give the Eagle fans an idea, but no. What I'm saying is that
Las Águilas no van a volar, Cesar. I hope you're right. I hope the Eagles do not fly this weekend. So I'm pulling for Cam this week. I need the Panthers to light up Atlanta. Yeah, if there's any saving grace, I just don't want Atlanta to make it too far. But I guess either way,
it would hurt though, because that means that we would have made the playoffs. If we had won,
I guess so.
Man,
look, it hurts either way.
We do literally like one. It could be one game. This past one, this could be any game of our season. Could have been the difference. That damn Drew Brees play that he made. It doesn't matter. We don't deserve to be in. I keep talking about that like we should be in.
But guys, let's go ahead and finish up with these last little bits of news
comments
before
here, guys.
Head out of here.
Scandrick. We're talking about Scandrick right now. Just real quick, touching on Scandrick. He probably's not going to be back with the team next year, but he was on the trading block. It was a very close deal with the New Orleans Saints to trade their linebacker Vaccaro to the Cowboys for Scandrick, which again at this point looks like it would have been a good deal for us to at least do. I'm not really sure.
Is that still on the table? Is that still an option?
I don't think so. And another thing about this weekend. If 3 out of the 5 starting offensive linemen rest, you got to figure Tyron Smith, Lel Collins. Maybe Zach Martin. I don't know. I'm not sure. But if they're going to sit, don't you think we need to bench Dak Prescott and Zeke pretty much?
Yeah.
I mean, you're risking their future.
And that's why I said you can't just look at the now. And I really expect it's going to be just like last year. They think they're going to play. They're going to walk out onto the field, and then they're going to tell them, nope, you're not starting. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things. You're going to see another sad puppy dog Zeke on the sideline with the sad puppy dog Dak on the sideline without the joy of looking forward to a playoff bye week and then a playoff game.
Yeah. And guys, if you have not yet heard about the little Twitter thing that, it's not really a battle, just the Twitter words back and forth with Brian Broaddus, Dallas Cowboy, representative, scout, former scout, whatever, film guy. He and us here had a couple differing opinions when it comes to the offensive coordinator and his opinion of what he thinks. I guess he would know more, but I want to know what he really thinks about him, not just what he feels. I want to know what he thinks about it. And I haven't heard much criticism by any of these Dallas Cowboy people here, and I do watch them a lot. And I do like a lot of their stuff, but you got to come better than that, man. You got to definitely.
They have to keep it real on everything, and they're just not
don't put it all on the players.
Exactly, they're not being 100% honest on the coaching decisions.
Issues, and it's a consistent thing.
Not even the issues, just some of the coaching decisions.
But they're consistent is the problem. The consistent issues is why it's not just a one-time thing, or you just give them let's just give them another chance next year, guys. Come on, one more time. Let's be honest. That's what Jerry Jones is saying, and that's not what Broaddus believes or Hellman believes. I don't believe that's what they believe. I think that's what they have to say, and I'm still waiting for them to say something that's really.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you. I get it, but
I hate to say that, though. Just like he called us bandwagon fans for a moment, and then he kind of retracted it with his next comment. You guys got to check that out. Check Twitter. You can follow it there. We're just keeping it real, honestly. That's the way I feel. And we're never going to stop being Cowboy fans. We're just not buying new stuff. We have loads and loads of beautiful Cowboy stuff.
Probably too much if it wasn't for this YouTube channel. At least I
Beautiful
could justify it that way.
Cowboy wear and merchandise. I love it all. I'm just not buying any new stuff, guys. And that goes for Jerry Jones. I just disagree with your 10 years mistake here of Jason Garrett continuously trying to lean on excuses for that. Sorry, I get lost in that, guys. So anyways, Brodus has said that he's been asked for his opinion sometimes by his scouts. People have asked him, like, why don't do they ever listen to people like him or the other people on the Cowboys news that knows about the Cowboys that are really in touch and supposedly in tune with them,
these things
right? Or people that are outside of that and other branches and things, maybe on YouTube, I don't know. But do they ever listen to anybody? And what he says is that they've asked for his opinion before, but it's extremely very rare. He said that these guys are really good at their jobs. I'm not doubting they are, but
and I really don't doubt that at all. It's still just it still astounds me that you're not saying that the coaches aren't even a little bit of a problem.
Wow, LT,
so, and holy crap, LT Metters with a $25 super chat. Thank you so much. You are going to be
an Eagle fan representing.
The number one leader up here says, great show and content. Good night,
man,
all.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for all of
much love, LT, man. You are
all of you guys, seriously. Thank you so much for all the support.
I'm going to say something about LT, though. He came on here from the very beginning. And the first thing he said was like, hey guys, I really I understand what he just came in and just was real about things, And
we're going to keep it real when it comes to the Cowboys, the Eagles, every single team, guys. We're going to do our best to remain as unbiased when it comes to the Cowboys as possible, especially, but if you want to lie and just say things are going good for the sake of going good, that's not going to help your team. And at the end of the day, we want the Cowboys to be the best team and to win the Super Bowl every year. And oh, what a dream! It's
a dream, but
but really, that's what every team wants, right? To win the Super Bowl every year.
Here's the thing: the Browns realistically don't have that ability.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys have the ability. They have players that are on there.
We know they have the ability because we've seen these players do it. And whoa, DJ Crown J with a $20 super chat right after that. So thank you so much. He says, I don't want to be lead or be on the show. You guys take care. So our LT Metters, we're still going to shout you out, man, just because we do appreciate it. But, you can decide whatever it is that you want at the end of the week. Or whoever happens to be the winner,
we have to say that. We got to be fair. We love all you. You're definitely getting, though, our little special trinket. We hope you enjoy it as an Eagle fan.
Ooh, but you know what, guys? Thank you so much. I can't even keep up.
Thank you, DJ Crown J. Wow, man, you are the man as well. You guys are.
Mr. Mike says our coaching staff sucks. Dallas has a really good young team, but no coaches who can bring out their potential, and that's exactly what we're saying.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Again,
who said that?
I said it yesterday. I know it sounded silly, but when we coached our kids' flag football team, we noticed when we coach these kids that coaching can make a difference. It does make a difference. It can be the difference between a team winning and losing, because it doesn't matter if you have these great players if you don't use them right.
That's very true. And that's the thing. We've seen that in a lot of different things.
And that's not like just a thing. I think that's just a coaching overall. That's in any sport, any game. A coach, a mentor, a leader can really make your team and make a difference.
Make or break it.
So, again, Tony Romo whispering in Dak's ear, I think, made the difference between our season being what it was.
I agree.
We made the playoffs not just because of Zeke, not just because of Dak, but because Tony Romo was on the sidelines helping Dak.
I think he definitely
was a team player.
People saying Sanchez as well. They talk about him, too, help them through things.
And again, Sanchez is another kind of a Kellen Moore where his talent might not translate on the field, but he's supposed to have a lot of football knowledge. Right. So those things make a difference, and it's still embarrassing that no one on the actual I just want someone, and again, they got close today, but not close. I just want someone to say that the leader is responsible.
Right.
So and if you know what, if you don't want to blame Jason Garrett, then at least blame the real boss, the real number one, which is Jerry Jones. That's it. You can't have it both ways, because it's embarrassing to the Cowboys as well when you keep blaming your players, because then you're saying, okay, so then if our players stink, then that means our scouts are doing a bad job. That means that, we're doing a bad job picking players, or drafting players or signing free agents. Either way, it still reflects badly on our organization because we're failing to do the job we're supposed to do. And I honestly don't think it's a lack of talent.
Maybe. I mean, I can't.
Anyway, so
I agree. It's a talent's there,
yes.
and that's where we need to. We have the pieces. We just got to put them in the right places. And yes, Cesar. And again, being a Cowboy, we love you, but LT is the real deal. I'm telling you, man. That's the kind of fan I love to see out of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I got to keep it real.
If more Eagle fans were like that, you know, I wouldn't be. Yeah,
they wouldn't have that reputation that they have currently.
So, and a side note, I don't know if you know this, LT, but I grew up in Eagle country. So when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, I was a student, and at my school they actually gave out like Eagles ice cream. And my best friend was a big Steelers fan at the time, and her dad is a big Cowboys fan. You know, we just refused to eat the ice cream, and we gave it away. Even from then, before I really knew much about football the way I do now, I just knew I never liked the Eagles. So I'm sorry, LT. Just letting you know that the Eagle stuff goes way back.
I'm really going to be
me.
curious to LT. And again, I hope you don't think we're going to be a hater. Although we are haters, I guess, when it comes to that. But
that's for every NFC East team too, though. Like, don't think it's just exclusive to the Eagles. The Eagles, the Giants, and the Redskins are our number one.
We want to see them lose first and foremost, but also Pittsburgh and New England. I'm sorry, I have to put them in there, and San Francisco for the rings. Yes.
So he hates the fact that I actually kind of like Pittsburgh, just because again
they got 6 guys. We can't let them get any more.
I know, and I don't want them to get more, but. I like Pittsburgh guys. Sorry, Antonio Brown. Like, what a freaking player.
He is fantastic. You got to give it up when it's true.
So, and Le'Veon Bell, before his whole little prissy attitude changed.
No, I want to say that, no, LT Metters is making a great point, Caesar. His donation is not a hater donation. He's awesome. He's, I will say, again, fans like this, again, I really wonder how it's going to be like, though, LT, when we watch the Eagles losing and we're live streaming, because we're going to probably live stream every Eagle game. If we keep losing, you're going to see us. And Eagle fans are going to be jumping in here. We're going to take it. We'll take it. But we're going to do Eagle hate, too. We want the Eagles to lose. We want to keep that ringless
But we're going to keep the Eagle
team.
Hate real as well. So
yeah, if you guys do good, you deserve it. We'll take our lumps, man. That's the way it goes.
All right, guys. Now, final shout-outs here before we end the night, because a lot of you guys are going. No, everyone's going to bed, baby. So let me see. Football Nerd, thanks for joining us. I'll take the top part of the ice cream off and then eat it. No, it was like a vanilla. I'm going to describe it. It was like a vanilla ice cream with like a chocolate fudge swirl and little football chocolate peanut butter cups in it. So it just, I'm not a vanilla or a peanut butter person.
Brian Bradford makes a comment about Brian Brodus.
So, yeah. So I don't know about that, because I actually agree with Brodus when it comes to a lot of things.
Yes, I do agree with a lot of things that he does say, especially when it comes to linemen, the way they have to put their hands and move their feet.
And we're not big fans of Skip Bayless in general. I just think it's too much of a
rant. He had a good rant, but
personally, just for me.
But I don't like him either. But he had a rant that made sense, but he really, he's just fake Cowboy fan. And don't forget, guys, we're going to put the Ed Werder comments from today. We got a special video coming up soon. Make sure you stay tuned. Hit the notification bell. It's not a live stream. It's going to be a video post. I'm going to repost it. It's from about 8 years ago when we had T.O., Romo, and what was the issue? And Witten. And there was like a whole thing about T.O. breaking up the locker room, and Garrett was the coach. Anyways, listen, there was a whole thing where it was rumors in the locker room that there was people that wanted to break away. And it was Ed Werder that was really trying to demolish the Cowboys and break into. And again, he had anonymous sources. Anyways, so one of my buddies happened to be there, happened to see him, and there's a whole story, guys. We'll post it. South to Heaven knows about it. And it was a big viral video. Cool. We're gonna repost it here so you guys can check it out soon. Zaxter 99, what's up, brother? 35 years, like myself. I mean, I don't count my youth, my first couple of 1 to 5 years of age. I don't count as being a fan. I don't know football.
Well, that's because his dad was a Giants fan. That's why he doesn't count those
I knew football,
years.
But I went to watch Giant games, and when I saw the Cowboys, I'm like, I don't know, I like them. I don't know. I just like the Cowboys. It was my team since I first knew. I didn't go to Giant game until I really liked the Cowboys. So either way, guys, I'm a football fan, but I love the Cowboys more than anything in the world.
Football Nerd, I met Tony Romo's grandma during work. She was pissed at me. And then Dead Man Star Chain, thanks for joining us here. And then Mr. Mike said he kind of respects the Rams. I mean, you have to respect the Rams.
For sure.
A team that, again, has gone through a lot of changes.
How about the
Vikings?
Vikings?
They still managed to be... Dude, the Vikings, again, but that defense is
That's what I'm saying.
well
The
set
Vikings
up,
are a
well
team.
managed, like
Vikings
a
are a
well-oiled
team.
machine.
And don't forget about New Orleans too, Philly.
So, signed Emmitt Smith jersey, Cesar. That's
nice.
really cool.
That's
so,
awesome. Zaxter. I love to see Jason Witten win a Super Bowl before he gets seriously hurt or retires. Nobody deserves a ring more than Jason. I agree.
I would put Tony Romo in that too. It really hurts me
too.
that them
Yeah,
together
Romo too.
because they really started their careers, I think, around the same time, came up together. We're almost unstoppable together.
Yeah, Zaxter.
So, and then let me see, Eric Gonzalez, Mr. Mike, Zazar, Saxter, Football Nerd, Asad Lalani, Brian Bradford, DJ Crown J, Eric Gonzalez, OMFG Google, all you guys, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, stream now because it is very late. But thank you for joining us for this. Tomorrow we're going to be jumping right into our Eagles game breakdown. We'll have some more updates on who was injured, who will hopefully be playing, and we'll get a better idea of, I guess, what the rest of the future looks like for the Cowboys. But we will be broadcasting our anti-Eagles gear starting tomorrow, guys.
It starts. So, guys, below here, you can see starting it off here with DJ Crown J. He won last week's weekly Super Chat leaderboard up there. Donation lead. It really should be donation, not Super Chat. But we just got it last week. That's why we started this thing up. And we're going to have a special one-on-one discussion with him, with you guys as well here in the chat. So it's going to be fun on Friday, to be announced time. I didn't catch the time, so make sure you post that for me, DJ Crown J.
So I know he said he's Central Time, so we'll try to get a good time. The only thing, we're going to try to maybe test out the chat right beforehand.
Yeah, of course. Now above, you see DJ Crown J leading that again. Huge donations today of 20, basically a 27 from DJ Crown J, 25 from LT Metters Jr. Thank you so much. And of course, still Dallas Cowboys football news, 5 from him. Man, thank you guys so much. You guys help so much you don't even understand. And we did put up a lot, a huge chunk of this, of the money that you guys have donated already. We've already put it up to get a special little
the thing that we're getting in the mail for you guys. Sorry, it's hard to describe it and explain it without giving it away.
Exactly. We'll give it away if we give any kind of detail. But it's a specialized, personalized product trinket from us to the guys out there, to you guys, to guys, girls, and children out there. Hopefully not children buying, donating without permission from their parents. But yes, we'll be sending out these things to all you guys who have donated over the $10 range or so. As a thank you to you guys. And we'll have it at other points throughout our existence. But we already put forth a whole bunch of what you guys have helped donate to us and towards this. And we're going to grow more. We got a camera, hopefully in the future. It's expensive, but that's in the future. We got hopefully green screen also in the future, lighting, better microphones, maybe like, clip ones or
without wires. We'll see you guys. One step at a time.
We'll continue to improve, guys. We've been around for a little over 5 months, so thank you for all of the support, guys. It's fantastic, and we're going to keep going past the football season, so keep that in mind. It's not just
just because the Cowboy season ends doesn't mean that we are stopping. We're still going to be keeping up with a lot of football, lots of content, keep you guys updated throughout the draft and everything else, guys, so make sure to stay tuned.
Yes, and 107 107 Dead Man starts and has ended up here. Yeah, and that's the thing.
And you're saying the time.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's how late it is, guys. And we are off to sleep as well. So thank you all very much.
Never forget.
As always, no matter what, guys, out of the playoffs, win.
Yeah, some of you guys already know.
Win, lose, draw, good, bad, or ugly. You know what it is, right? Go Cowboys!
We'll catch you guys next time. Good night.
Much love, guys. Peace. Stay safe.
Go Cowboys.
We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Fire Garrett.